Alright guys, welcome. We're going to be playing some the political process today. You guys have been requesting this for a while. So we're going to be running as Zoe Baldwin, 32 years old, from Marion County, Oregon, as a Democrat. And we are going to be running for office today for governor. So I think we have 1 year before any type of election takes place. So let's go ahead and do you want to run as a nominee for his Say House Speaker? Let's go ahead and do that. See if we can actually get a vote. No, that vote was only for myself. So let's go ahead and move on. Damn, we already have 8 bills on the table. Alright, so apparently the way that they changed this, actually, they supposedly changed some of the legislation, the way that the legislation goes through, so you can actually pack it up into, like, a reform, essentially. So you can actually support the analysis, you can get some testimonials off of it, and you can go and basically just try to pass a lot more things instead of just doing it, one at a time. So we're gonna wait until some of these hit the floor, and then we're gonna just vote on them on a case-by-case basis. And then so we have this brand new voting mechanic. So essentially we can see a real-time metric of voting. And then you can see who's voting, how they're voting, what party they are, obviously. And so then I can hit this, and then we can see... It's basically like watching C-SPAN. And you can see exactly who's voting, who's the most recent one to vote, right here. So we have 51-9. We'll continue to the next stage of the legislative process. Then support, we're going to say support. And then 56-4. Support community college, 7 seasons and a movie. Alright, 89% of Democrats, 52% of Republicans, and 71% of independents support your vote. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So we can see how the approval rating is affected by what we're voting for. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that'll actually be very intuitive. Regularity in government expenditure audits. Was used for its personal expenditures. This is an ongoing story. More updates will be published as new information is revealed. Full day kindergarten. Go ahead and support that. And C, 53-7. Damn, leave some stuff for me to get past whenever I become governor. Oh, we're gonna abstain. Campaign, school board, city, mayor. This is a competitive race, so we'll go ahead and endorse the Democrat. I just entered. What state are you trying to become governor of? Oregon. We're going to be the governor of Oregon. $54-45. following House elections will take place. State House, State Senate, U.S. House, U.S. Senate, and President. So we don't have a governor's race until, I think, 2026. So we're going to have to run for election again. I'm happy. Why so? Come on. Run for re-election, State House. Yes. Come on. First priority, pick up the Dreamcast. Bring back the Dreamcast. Because Trump won and also Sherrod Brown is gone from Ohio. Oh yeah, Marina won. Yeah, whenever that happened, whenever that election happened, honestly, I knew what was going to happen by like 9 o'clock. And I just went to bed, honestly. I just kind of just went, okay, I guess this is happening, and just went to bed. Glad to see that lying about election fraud and, you know, making a fool of yourself is electable. But Democrats had it coming too. You know, honestly, I mean, I can't sit here and say that the Democrats had like the best campaign. So yeah, just sucks that we got Trump for another 4 years, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm not sitting here saying that he's going to become the next Hitler or something like that. He's not going to deport 22 million people. He's not going to do, like, half the BS that he promised. He didn't do it last time, and he's not going to do it this time. Okay, here we go. I hope he does become a dictator for like one day like he said he would. Come on, man. Party, and then marketing. Yeah, it's only good whenever my person becomes a dictator for a day. If the other side does it, no, that's bad. That is so bad. Come on. Come on, man. State, Senate, House. This is... Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you are, Baldwin. 52 to 47, about a 2,000 vote lead, so a little bit we need to improve that, but I'm being a little lazy right now. I'm just trying to get to the governor's race. Ooh. Okay, and judiciary. G20 is this week, PG. Oh. Is it now? Okay, State House, Governor, U.S. House. Okay, good. Harvey Vernet will not be seeking a re-election due to reaching the term limit for this position. If you run in this election, you have a good chance of winning. All right, we're going for governor. Jobs, governor, apply. Policies, volunteers, indoors, policies, staff. Train all staff. I'm going to get almost a week off from work because all the leaders from around the world are coming here to the city. Oh, I did not know that it was going to be in what do you call it? Brazil. Want to run for re-election? Nah. Polls, voter intention. Okay, so we're in the lead in a four-way race. Marketing. Just trying to max out my name recognition right now. $31 to $27. Internet ads max out name recognition quickly. PG, yeah, I know, that's what I've been doing. Okay, week 18. Poll, margin of error, voter intention. 31 to 26 to 22 to 19. Come on, man. Just the results taking forever to come in. $6,400. Zoe, okay. 15,000, 44% reported. $23,000, 25,000. All right, good. The hard part is over. The party demographics are in your favor. All right, now we just have to go to the election. Equal Access to Education Act. What is this? Grants to perform improved low-performing schools. Funding is determined during this. Unknown support analysis. Okay, so score analysis. Fiscally very liberal, supports access to education, concerned about the expenditure, and constituent approval of education is already high. Soliciting a bribe in exchange for using his position and influence to help direct lucrative government contracts towards a specific company. He could not be reached for comment. But individuals close to the politician believe he may resign in an attempt to avoid a criminal investigation into the matter. And he did resign. Alright, let's do this. Go to my vote. Support. 10 to... Oh, this is in the committee. Support. And this is 5210. And I'm also going to automate events. We're going to do fundraise. Just raising as much money as I possibly can. This is Visit campaign field office. You look out and it's a small featureless building. You leave the campaign office ready for a busy day. Retention 56 to 43 to 5.5. There's scandals in the new update. Yeah, they added these a while ago. Marketing. And let's watch this governor's race. Shipwreck Gamer, how are you? Put this, and we're gonna go for 4 minutes, and we're gonna watch the county map unfold. Which candidate are you? We're Zoe Baldwin. We're Zoe Baldwin. We are running for governor of Oregon. Just waiting for these results to pop up. It's probably because the polls haven't closed yet. Pennsylvania's flipping back and forth as usual. Baldwin, holy shit, is this a for all mankind reference? No, but I guess it is now. Damn, I should have did Karen Baldwin and then have her run for governor of Florida. $56 to 42. Good numbers coming out of the West. While the East is still heavily for the Republican candidate. Oh, we just got Lynn County. What about Yam Hill County? Come on, y'all can do it. Next to a Republican presidential run with Ellen Wilson. Bet. That's gonna be my next, like, TPP series. All right, 58% reporting. Baldwin. Oh, yeah, I remember that little Baldwin series that I had. Yeah, hang on. What was that guy's name? Sean? Was that Sean Baldwin? No, I remember there was a Sean that I had. What was his name? What was that guy's name? Okay, so I had a Hawkins. Okay, and they called the election for Zoe Baldwin. We win by 260,000 votes with 92% reported. We're waiting for the polls to officially close, but this is going to be called in our favor. 308,719 votes. 56% to 43%. What was that guy's name? Sean Irwin. That was it. Sean Irwin. Yeah. I don't know why my Sean Irwin series was so, like, popular. I think that was so funny, just, like, how popular, like, those... How popular those, what do you call it? Episodes would be. Okay, we're gonna go to the coming year. Last week, the select cabinet nominees, office, summary menu, office, summary, actions, challenge. Start. Go to actions tab and click on select cabinet nominees. Here it is. Yeah, because you can select it before. Be Director of Agriculture. Attorney General. Protecting consumers, supervising and regulating insurance companies, and monitoring banks and financial institutions. Okay, so it's a lot more detailed whenever it comes to the changes that these will go through. So we can see the average prison sentence. We can bump it up to 5 years. That would increase our prison expenditure to $716 million, and then would imprison to 17,000 people. Poverty. Mail-in voting, voter ID laws, provide photo IDs and voting in person. Some voters do not have access to photo IDs, which may prevent them from voting. Proportional electoral college. If the state uses a proportional Means that the electoral college are distributed to candidates based on the percentage of votes each candidate won in the state. In real life, some states have a similar program, but electoral college votes are distributed based on which candidate which wins each congressional district, instead of being based exclusively on a popular vote. The state will give all of its electoral college votes to whichever presidential candidate wins the popular vote, regardless of which candidate won the state popular vote. Redistricting rules. Mandatory voting. Redistricting method. Legislature. Independent commission. This represents the hang on. Ranked choice, do ranked choice. Holy moly, the new options are so good. Okay, so select how the redistricting process will work in a state. Legislator will give the state legislature the authority to draw new district maps. Independent commission will give an independent redistricting commission the authority to draw new district maps. The independent commission is more likely to draw fair and representative maps. This legislature may draw biased maps that favor whichever party controls the legislature. This represents the percentage of legislatures that must support the newly drawn district map before it can become law. If this percentage is not reached, an independent commission will draw the map. We're just going to do it to an independent commission. The governor will be allowed to veto any map drawn by the state legislature. If checked, districts will be required to be compact. This requirement helps reduce gerrymandering, where politicians draw oddly shaped districts in order to benefit their political party. Prohibit biased districts. Require intact districts. Require competitive districts. And then minimum wage. Lastly, we'll go ahead and throw that up to $10. All right, we have a new state budget. Okay. All right. And then moving on, we now have a $2 billion surplus that we can work with. So universal preschool is a thing, so we don't have to worry about that. Community college is approved. Full day kindergarten is approved. hate it whenever they do this, whenever I'm not governor, because it always, like, they always beat me to what I want to do. More students attending college. Let's go ahead and do an additional $200 million to state university funding. And Medicaid. And Medicaid expansion. Yeah, that's what we have. So this one won't matter because we already did the Medicaid expansion. And then so that is already approved. So go down. Social services. Let's do $100 million of social services. Immunization, local health care. Transportation. Construction. Build new roads and add more lanes to 6 existing roads. We have $396 million to play with here. And then 605, so that leaves us with 144. And then save budget. We're gonna hit this with the OR budget. State police. City police grants. We'll do $200 million here. Financial services. Professional licensing agency. Let's do max funding there. Attorney General, state police. Wasn't there more funding here? There's like a lot more funding operations here, I think. Huh. Yeah, they took it all away. State police. Unless that's only in the city view. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was in the city view. I think? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm stupid. I was getting confused because I'm sitting here like, I swear to God, there's more options here, but I haven't played this game in so long, and I was like thinking, I was just like, I know there's like a SWAT team, like a bomb squad that we can give funding to, everything like that. So we are at total expenditure $142 million, and they are requesting $200 million. Let's go ahead and increase that up to $200 million. 205. Give it a little bit over. Save budget, really. Save. Our budget. Save successful. Okay, let's go ahead and submit this over. And then, so I submitted HB 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then these guys will be going right through the legislature. Committee vote on 53 to 7. Committee votes 11 to 0. Tax reform. HB 1, Oregon State Reform Act. $29 to 1. Do you support or oppose this legislation? Support. 82% of Democrats, 64% of Republicans, and 73% of independents support the reform that I just punched through. So that will be reflected in the next year. Events, rallies. We're just going to be fundraising the entire time. To see what other democracy. So we have ranked choice of voting. Ranked choice of elections allow voters to rank each candidate based on preference. If no candidate wins a 50% majority in a first round of election, an instant runoff election occurs. The candidate with the fewest votes is removed from the election, and their votes are distributed to the remaining candidates based on a second preference of their voters. This elimination process continues until one candidate has received more than 50% of the votes. Mail-in voting. Allow ballot curing. If this is true, election officials will notify voters of any invalid ballots and give those voters an opportunity to correct the ballot so it can be counted. A ballot could be considered invalid if the voter forgot to sign their signature or made some other small mistake. If this is false, voters will not be informed of their invalid ballot, and the valid ballot will be discarded. Absentee voting allows voters to request an absentee ballot so they can vote from home rather than voting in person. Absentee, so allow ballot curing. Requires second signature. Have a second individual sign their ballot to confirm that the person filling out the ballot is the person named on the ballot. This requirement may decrease the number of votes who can successfully submit a ballot, slightly reducing turnout, and require a valid excuse. Voters will be required to provide a valid excuse for requesting an absentee ballot. Valid excuses might include sickness, disability, work conflict, or being out of town on election day. If unchecked, anyone can request an absentee ballot without providing an excuse. Nonpartisan, same-day voter registration, which is active actually. If you became president, what law would you pass? I don't know, it kind of depends on what you mean. Eliminates the program, yeah, sure. Personally, UBI, because it would help a lot of folk and it would boost Brazil's shattered economy. What else do we have? Voter ID laws. Voters without a voter ID will be allowed to sign a legal affidavit swearing to their identity, which allows them to cast a provisional ballot. If unchecked, individuals without a valid ID will be denied the right to vote. Mandatory voting. Fine for not voting. $200, bro. Granted an exception to the mandatory voting rule if they can provide a valid excuse for not voting. just going through some of the new like stuff, so that's why like I'm just kind of sitting here. Redistricting rules. National popular vote winner. Yeah, but what about whenever the next Trump comes in office, huh? See, this is what it kind of like annoys me, is that they still have not added a lot of different laws except for democracy. Because I remember whenever they added this and they said, hey, yeah, we're adding some more laws, it's literally just a democracy thing, which all of this is actually really cool because this is an election game. This is an election game, and it makes a lot of sense of why you should be able to, it makes a lot of sense about why you should be able to change a lot of this, so this is a really nice addition. Being able to change very specific voting conditions and electoral college laws and redistricting concerns, everything like that. So I like it. I need more laws when it comes to things like financing and just businesses, everything like that. Like, this will make this game like a ton better. This is going to be criminal voting rights. We have allowed incarcerated criminals to vote, former criminals to vote, restrict to non-violent criminals, require probation. Only criminals who have completed probation will be granted voting rights. Restrict the first offense. Voting rights will only be restored to first offense criminals, individuals who have committed only one crime. And then require petition. Criminals must petition for their voting rights rather than having them automatically restored. The idea of ballot curing is actually really nice. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, dude, look at this. Prohibit all abortions. No. Allow abortions without restrictions. There will be no restrictions on abortions. Restriction and exception options will be ignored. If this is false and prohibit all abortions is false, then abortions will be allowed in some circumstances, but we'll have restrictions. Gestation week. So we're gonna affect the 16 weeks, number of hours that a woman must wait to have an abortion, procedure after deciding to have the procedure. This age will be exempt from the abortion ban. Out of state in order to receive an abortion. The parent of a minor must be informed about the child's intention of receiving an abortion. The parent of a minor must provide consent in order for their child to receive an abortion. Jesus. It's very detailed, honestly. This is true, though. I mean, no restrictions. This is false. And then I have the detailed. We have the ability to do mandatory ultrasound, mandatory counseling, and mandatory heartbeat audio. I like the counseling one because it said forces the mother to receive counseling prior to receiving an abortion. Counseling may require a medical professional to read a script which may or may not be medically accurate. It will not become law. Really? Education grants, abstinence only, professional learning, student welfare committee grants. Student welfare committees are groups of teachers that work together to address any issues affecting their students. These committees may help students improve academically and may help prevent students from withdrawing from or dropping out of school. This effectiveness depends on the level of discretionary spending, which is allocated during the budget appropriations process. $238 million. Total academic score improvement of 2.56. Thoughts on the presidency of Ellen Wilson? I don't think that we were ready for her. You know, I think she should have kept it in the closet. Ooh, out of context, this is going to sound really bad. School tutor grants, after school tutors, which helps in students. How much would this cost? 23 million. Yeah. Okay. Legislation effects. Let's go ahead and call this the Oregon always a Democrat, why not Republican? What do you mean? Submit legislation. Reduction of wasteful spending in education. Huh? Eliminates a program. Oh, that's just the name of the bill. Abstinence only education establishes the program. We're going to oppose this. Grants to improve low performing schools and eliminates this program. Me and PG need to make a podcast ranking fictional US presidents. We'll have Lichman do his Keys thing on Owen Wilson and Bill Pullman, president from Independence Day. Yeah, I don't really like his response to the alien invasion. Like, he could have evacuated those cities hours before, but he decided not to because he was in on it the entire time. He knew that the aliens were coming, and he didn't evacuate anyone. So, whatever that president's name is, he wanted it to happen. I would like to thank my 10 Sikh for making Trump win. Otherwise, the American dream would have been the shattered dream. Imagine actually being happy that Trump won. All right, legislative proposals: comprehensive comprehensive professional development for teachers, comprehensive sex education, student welfare committees, and grants to hire tutors. While establishing those programs, we will go ahead and sign this into law. Politician contradicts own position. Goddamn. I like how Mississippi was just within 10 points. Ouch. I hate it whenever you get a cramp on your freaking foot. Oh god, that hurts. Yep. Me just dying on my live stream. He won popular vote, so it means less people to agree with that black woman. Yeah, but I think what really gets me about it is that it's not because people didn't agree with her, it's just that the Republicans were able to place the message that everything was better under Trump. No, everything wasn't better under Trump because it was... nothing was getting done. Like, nothing was getting done. Like, we have a bunch of people now that didn't live between 2016 and 2021. And all they remember is that maybe they were in elementary school whenever this happened, or like they just genuinely don't remember, because I cannot remember a lot of things between 2019 and 2022 because it's just all muddled, because no one, it all kind of blended together because it was just COVID. During the end of the Trump administration, we had riots in the streets. We had him threatening to send federal troops into cities in Oregon and Illinois and everything like that. So, but yeah, like saying Harris was the worst candidate, got 0 votes in the primaries. Come on. I don't care that she didn't get any votes in the primaries. That doesn't matter. That was like such... And this is one reason why I'm glad that Trump won. This is like one of the only reasons why I'm glad Trump won. Is because if she got elected, you would hear it endlessly, over and over again, that she didn't get a single vote in the primaries. She didn't get a vote. I don't care. She got in to the nomination through a legal process. There's nothing wrong with dropping out of the election and then selecting someone else at the primary, at the convention. That is the point of the convention. What is the point of the convention? Guys, this is how we selected people back before 1976. 1972, 1976. In 1972, that's whenever the Democrats started to use that process of selecting them by actual primary votes. Before then, in 1968, they were selected at the convention. They had to go there, they had to go to the convention with not a single thought in mind about who actually was going to be there except who was more popular. John F. Kennedy got elected. Not by votes, but by people, by influential people at the primaries. So what could have happened is that if Democrats were actually against her coming in, they could have selected someone else. They didn't, because everyone just knew how unprecedented this was, so they just selected her. Because who else are you going to select? You're not going to go for Gavin Newsom. You're not going to go for J.B. Pritzker. You're not going to go for anyone else because they're all no names. And plus, they're from weird states that will have a lot of criticism whenever it comes to their governing policies. China's not scared wanting a peaceful existence. That's just them using their propaganda terms. That's what's so funny to me. Whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, China's already bowing down to the United States whenever Donald Trump's getting elected." No, sir. That's not what China's doing. They're doing their stupid little feat of saying, "We're here to cooperate with everyone involved, and we want what is best for the bipolar world order, the multipolar world order." Because it's propaganda. They're not sitting there wanting coexistence. They want to be the dominant power. And to think that China actually wants to coexist with the United States is false. We all know that's false. I don't care that China says that they want to peacefully coexist, because I know that China does not want to coexist. They want to be the dominant existence. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me if Joe Biden, did the funny thing and threw everything under the gutter just because, he wanted to be stingy. This was failed from the start once Joe Biden announced that he was running for re-election. He should have stepped aside because of all the questions, and then let Kamala run an actual campaign rather than running a last effort, last second campaign in the last 4 months before the election. The Democrats had this coming. So I'm not sitting here saying that Kamala was a better candidate. I'm saying that Democrats had it coming, but at the same time, let's be serious and let's acknowledge that Donald Trump is not the saving grace of this country. That's just a propaganda term. That's just everyone just wanting to make crap up because they want to win elections. 33 trillion debt last year now, 35 trillion now, 38 trillion 1 year from now. All right, let's look at Donald Trump's debt in between 2017 and 2021. So Donald Trump comes in 2000, let's say 16. All right, U.S. national debt was $19.57 trillion at the end of 2016. The United States federal deficit was $430 billion. Let's look at 2021. U.S. national debt was $28.42 trillion. U.S. deficit was about, I think it was like 3 trillion, give or take, $2.8 trillion. All right. I think Trump's policies will tank the economy. Probably. I wouldn't say that for sure, but I don't know. So let's be serious here. Whenever we're complaining about the debt, let's acknowledge the atrocities of what Donald Trump had us in 2016 to 2021. And let's be fair here. Whenever because 2021, we all know what happened. We all know the context part of that. So let me be a little bit more fair whenever it comes to explaining that. When it comes to the deficit, he was given a $400 billion, about just around maybe $500 billion deficit by the end of 2016, January 20th, 2017. By the time COVID hit in March 2020, guess what it was? What did he do? Tax cuts, increased spending for the military, which I'm not complaining about increased military spending, but anyway, mostly it was the tax cuts. Guess what the deficit was by the time COVID hit? By the time COVID hit, it was around 900 to about $1.4 trillion because of the tax cuts. So, again, let's be serious and acknowledge that Donald Trump was increasing the deficit and was increasing the debt by the time COVID hit. And by the time COVID came around and hit, and by the time January 20, 2021 came around, the deficit skyrocketed to $2.8 trillion, the debt skyrocketed to $28 trillion, and this is the best part, the inflation. The inflation was mostly caused under Donald Trump's presidency because his administration, under that Federal Reserve, printed over $7 trillion. By the time Biden came into office, 40% of the money that was in circulation at the time was printed within that last year. So that's what gets me. And it like Trump supporters and just people that want to have this argument that the economy was better under Trump, was better under the general feeling was better under Trump. The general feeling was better because it didn't feel like we were at war. We were still at war. We were still having issues with our deficit and our debt. But people want to forget that because it's easy. It's easy to do that because we're living in now. Because why would you care about what the country looked like now whenever all you see right now when you turn on the news is the war in Gaza, the war in Ukraine? You go to the store and then it's costing $3 to buy a gallon of milk. Because it's easy to see that in the now, in the immediate now, and say, okay, I'm going to blame the guy that's president now, even though a lot of this is cause and effect by the previous administration. And then what is even funnier is that, and I need to make this budget because I'm talking for way too long. People are like, shut up and just play the game. It's a political game. Come on. My name's PoliticsGaming. Let me have my little political rants here. Anyway, what is even funnier is that when Trump comes into power and then turns around and starts putting this tariff on everyone, if he actually does that, then you're going to see the exact same people that are sitting here saying that Trump's going to make the economy better. Once the prices of those goods start to go up, whenever beef starts going up, whenever raw materials start to go up, whenever wood starts to go up, timber, lumber, everything like that, all of that starts to go up, all those prices start to skyrocket because of the tariffs. What are you going to see? Are you guys going to start complaining, saying this was better under Biden? No, you're going to be seeing the same people that make these kinds of excuses. You're going to see those same people turn right around and say, "Oh, I'd much rather pay a higher price than be dependent on another country." You're going to see them make excuse after excuse after excuse. And this is the reason why I stopped supporting Trump, is because the amount of mental gymnastics that you have to pull, it seriously didn't save my budget. The amount of mental gymnastics you have to pull just to justify why Trump is good is insane to me. It's just insane. Because once those tariffs start up, once those tariffs start going around, because it's not going to be the other country paying the tariff, and this is actually kind of like something I learned pretty recently, is that the tariffs are not paid by the other country. They're paid by our companies, and then those companies and even the people that support the tariffs acknowledge this, that yes, the eventual time, the eventual end game is that there will be a higher price on the end consumer, which is us. Now, as for tariffs, I'm gonna tell you, I support tariffs strategically. An all across the board tariff, no. An all across the board tariff, we tried that during the what do you call it? The Great Depression, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. What happened? No one wanted to trade with us because our goods were too expensive. They ended up trading with each other, and that ended up making our situation worse. So if you want to talk about a higher tariff just to try to reduce our deficit, that will ruin our economy, or at least it will weaken our economy. At bare minimum, it will weaken it. Tariffs weren't the reason for the Great Depression, but it was a adverse side effect of the Depression. Because, again, go back to the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, and that one just basically just went through and completely messed up all of everything. And it made our situation so much worse because we were like, okay, we need to figure out how to get some more money. Okay, let's go ahead and increase our tariffs on everyone. Then what happens? No one's going to trade with us because our goods are too expensive. Trump's policies would cause temporary hardship. Yeah. But that's the thing. You're going to see these people, same thing over and over again. You're going to see them make up excuse after excuse after excuse about why it's okay that Trump does it. But then whenever Biden does it, or whenever any other Democrat does it, they're the most evil person in the world. It's genuinely frustrating. Tariffs do encourage national production, though, which has benefits to the local economy, which is something you have chosen to ignore when going against tariffs. No, I support tariffs because I like tariffs as a strategic way to try to prioritize production on a scale for a specific sector. So like chips, for example. I would like to put chips, back in the first couple of months of the Trump administration back in 2017. I remember that I think this was 2017 or 2018, he put a tariff, like a couple of tariffs onto China. This was steel, aluminum, and a couple of other things. I think they were a part of the farming sector. I think it was probably soybeans. So stuff like that is okay. Stuff like that is okay because I'm talking that is strategic. What Trump was doing the first time was strategic. It was a strategic grasp on tariffs. What he's wanting is a flat out across the board tariff on every single product that we have. No, that's going to make things a lot harder. And then again, you're going to see the same people that are justifying Trump saying, oh, I love these tariffs. I love these tariffs. God dang, I love these tariffs. I love them. Then whenever the price of milk starts going up again, or whenever computer chips starts to become more expensive, or whenever I don't know, a hot dog goes up, what are you going to see? You're going to see the same people saying, oh, this is great. This is okay. This is okay. Because it's Trump. It's Trump. It's Trump doing it. So it's mind-boggling how gymnasticky people will get in order to justify why it is okay whenever Trump does it, but not okay when anyone else does it. Just like, for example, like the whole thing about Biden's mental acuity. What makes me feel so bad for the guy is whenever like he trips on a freaking sandbag and then they're like, oh my god, he doesn't know where he is, he doesn't know where he's going, he doesn't know where he's walking. And then you look back a little bit and then you see he's just tripping over a sandbag. Or like maybe like he's going up Air Force One, you're gonna slip and fall. like Gerald Ford fell from Air Force One. No one was making fun of him because of his mental state. They were just making fun of him because he fell. George H.W. Bush threw up on the emperor. I think it was the emperor or the prime minister of Japan. He threw up on him. Did they sit there and say that it was because he was mentally stupid? No. They just were like, oh, come on, he's embarrassing. No, these are like deeply personal insults toward him because of his stutter or whatever it is. So it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to just see what people are doing now to justify, and just like during the election last week, what did we see? What did we see? We saw Trump go onto Twitter and then start saying they're stealing the election in Philadelphia. They're stealing the election in Philadelphia. Look at it. Look at Philadelphia County. The governor had to come out. The police had to come out and say, no, this is not true. And what happened? He wins the election, and then he immediately shuts up about it. So there's no concern anywhere, anytime now about fraud unless he's winning. It's ridiculous. Like, it is genuinely ridiculous. And I voted for Kamala pretty much expecting that Trump was probably going to win. But I'm also in the party of people that think that it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that bad because if we have anything to compare it to, all he's going to do is that his supporters are going to make up about why he's a good guy, why he's doing a good job, even though he's doing literally everything that they hate. He's probably going to come in and start supporting Ukraine out the wazoo, which I hope he does. I have seen somebody on Twitter saying that's Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes doesn't matter. Like, he's an idiot. He's just a gorper that likes to get attention. And someone doxed him for saying that, which is really funny. You fill his entire cabinet with billionaires like last time. His form of government is called a kleptocracy. Yeah, and it's like, again, he fights for the common man. He fights for the common people. He fights for the little man. And then, okay, like in the first administration, he put like a woman that has never served in the educational space in her life as the Secretary of Education. And especially what gets me is that, again, like, he never called for He never called for violence at the Capitol. He never called for anything to happen at the Capitol. I don't care that he didn't call for anything at the Capitol. I care that he sowed the discontent for months and 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 said, they're going to steal the election. They're going to steal the election. They're stealing the election. They're stealing the election. And then all of a sudden, everyone starts to try to defend the country because they think that the election's being stolen. And then they get surprised whenever these people are going into the Capitol building to try to stop that election from happening. Come on. It's not about, and this is what I hate about the media, but how they cover these things, because they don't look at it the way they need to look at it. It doesn't matter whether he said it or not. It doesn't matter whether he called for violence or not. It doesn't matter. It matters that he sowed that discontent for months and months and months and months and months. And then everyone gets surprised whenever someone does something about it. It's like it's like Waco. It's like Waco, where Waco happens, and then everyone around, what was his name? McVeigh starts to say, the government's coming after us. The government's coming after us. The government's coming after us. And he's a white supremacist. And he's believing everything that everyone is telling him, where everything is happening. Everything is like against him. Everything's happening. Oh my God, the government's coming after us. They're going to come take our guns. They're going to come take our rights. I need to do something about it. And what happens whenever he believes all of that? He loads up a rider van full of fertilizer with another guy, parks it in front of a federal building in Oklahoma City, and blows up the entire building, killing 160 people, including 19 children. So, are those two comparable? In a way, no. But I'm talking about cause and effect. What Trump supporters don't like to listen to is cause and effect. Printing $7 trillion during a global pandemic, whenever you're already shutting down the economy and the growth is going down, and then all of a sudden you have all of this money pumped into the system. Was it needed? In a way, yes. Could it have been handled better? Yes. Just like Afghanistan. Afghanistan, by the way, pisses me off. Not because of it, but because of how people frame it. If Trump was president and won that election in 2020, that would have still happened. That would have absolutely happened 100%. Because Afghanistan was going to fall. It was just a matter of time until we withdrew the troops. Because under the Trump administration, Afghanistan was losing ground over and over and over and over again. And the idea that Trump had 0 wars under his watch is unequivocally false. Unequivocally. That is one of the most disingenuous things that you could ever hear by anyone, is that he had no wars. He escalated the war in Afghanistan in 2017. I specifically remember this because I was about to go see the movie It. I remember watching on the news saying that he was surging troops in Afghanistan. He sent I think 7,000 troops or something like that to secure the cities. And what did he do whenever whenever his administration was coming to an end? Sometime in 2020, he meets up with the Taliban. His administration meets up with the Taliban, and they sign an agreement. And they say, we will withdraw our troops from Afghanistan. And this has nothing to do with the Afghan government, by the way. The government that we had been propping up for 20 years. What did we do? We signed an agreement with the Taliban saying, don't fire on our troops, we won't fire on yours. We withdrew the troops, and while we were drawing down the troops under the end of the Trump administration, the beginning of the Biden administration, the Taliban are gaining ground. They're using the pandemic as a way to say, we're going to start increasing our foothold. They start taking major capitals. They start taking major regions. And eventually in August 2021, they seized the capital, Kabul. This had been happening for months, for over a year. During the Trump administration, there was no effective measures that were taken against the Taliban to stop them from gaining ground. And he signed an agreement with them and said, go ahead and do what you want to do, and we'll just step aside and we'll withdraw by the end of the election, after the end of the election. By, what was it, like May 2020? 2021. So Alright, we're gonna watch this election while I continue to rant. So, and again, this is just where it's so stupid, it's so frustrating. He fights for BlackRock, and come on, that's the other thing. I don't care about BlackRock, I don't care. Talking anything about BlackRock, about anything that has to do with that, like, it's just another dog whistle. It's just another dog whistle. It's just another way of just trying to blame Jews for problems. And people don't realize that whenever you blame these companies for whatever. And I'm not saying, like, you know, it's weird. It's not weird. Like the one kid that did the thing over the summer to Trump. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, but like at the same time, like these are just like unfounded conspiracies of just people just wanting something to fight against. It's this moral crusade that everyone feels like they have to fight. I'm gonna do projections. Everyone, and this is what like really gets me about Trump supporters too, it's always a moral crusade. It's always just this moral crusade that everyone just feels like they have to be fighting, that someone is just like in the background pulling the strings, and then they have to be the one, like they're the main character in a movie and they're fighting against the great evil of the world. That's what people want to see whenever they talk about BlackRock or the Rothschilds or Jews or something. Like, it's just unequivocal, unfounded BS that people want to hear because it sounds cool and it makes sense to them for some reason. Still have yet to call any battleground states. Oh, Florida just went to the Republicans, okay. North Carolina just went to the Republicans. Minnesota for the Democrats. Michigan just went to the Republicans. Pennsylvania to the Democrats. Republicans just need one more state to win. Democrats, 256. Arizona could send to Republicans. Oh, Republicans just won, 273. Very close election. And Nevada could go to the Democrats. Very close election. Wow. That was a nail biter, actually. Look at the popular vote difference. 77.04 to 84.02. Democrats just got called, and Alaska has yet to be called. 87% reporting, so this is going to put the Republicans at 276. Very close election. Okay, this is the final electoral map, so interesting. Oh, dude, look at that. Look at Pennsylvania. Jesus Christ. 2,047 votes. Holy crap. That is a dead heat. That is dead. Oh my god, dude. That is crazy. And 52 to 48. Any swing states here? Projections, margins. Georgia was a flip at 56,000 votes. Only one flip. U.S. House, 7 seats. Oregon. Oregon 2, 98,000 votes. Delegations from the Rust Belt states are very Republican. Republicans gained 2 seats in the state house. Have you taken a look at the political arena? It appears to be a close competition for this game. It's not out yet. I'm not sure when it will be. I'll give my piece on it in a second. The political arena it looks okay. Like, kinda, like, it reminds me of Suzerain, except it's just a story-based game where you do actually have, like, a bit more political story, I guess. I have it, and I need to see if I can get my hands on it for a gameplay, like see if that is the final edition that I have, because I do have my hands on it, and I tried it out like once, and it was still like, it was a very, very short gameplay, because it was literally like, hey, it was like a tutorial, except then after that you couldn't really do anything. There wasn't any other gameplay other than that. So I've been basically just been waiting for it to like go on, I guess, to like be fleshed out. Federal laws, federal prison sentence links for drug criminals. Oh, yeah, let's do a legislation proposal. Crime, drugs. Let's eliminate it. Let's call this the Decriminalization and Rehabilitation Act. Crime, jail lengths, public order, city police grants. We're gonna do universal free school lunches, and then so the federal government does have their own program, and then so we're gonna come in and split this here. So it's gonna say total expenditure 286 million, federal contribution is 116 million, and the state will bear 169 million dollars cost. Same thing for universal school breakfast. We will that was $55.4 million. The federal government will pitch in $36.7 million, and the state of Oregon will put in $18.7 million. Okay, in housing, let's see, public housing. Eligibility, so you need to make... No, for right now, we need to be making more money. Community planning, quality of life in low-income neighborhoods. $250 million. Energy assistance, fully fund, and emergency homeless shelters, $0. Permanent housing. Oh god, I remember this game. I know. I remember whenever like the pandemic hit, and then I just played it just for a long time, and people really liked it. And I feel bad because like there's so many people that subscribe to this channel just to watch me play this, and I really wanted to play it more, but it's just like it's so repetitive. I do kind of like it a little bit now. Let's submit the budget. Jesus Christ. 2.5 hours late. I play Texas with Democrat as governor and GOP control of the legislature. Did you appoint someone to Congress or state legislature? No, but I need to. Because we're about to have to run for re-election here. So, mayor, we will pick... Next election, we'll have her be the mayor. State Senate. States 2029. Government approval is up. Economy is up. Taxation is down. It's pretty normal for my gameplays. Infrastructure approval is actually up about 10 points. Department effectiveness is going up. Population 4.4. Once prompted ChatGPT to create an interactive story where I'd play the president of Germany. I should get ChatGPT to write me a story for my next Power and Revolution or Geopolitical Simulator series. Texas health budgets. I like this little budget screen. Treasury fund. We're in a deficit. Fund value $23 million. Laws. Election laws, same day, proportional. I agree this game is repetitive. It would be nice if there were random events to challenge you. Yeah, like scandals, or like maybe someone could come up and try to seduce you or something like that and make a little sex scandal or some shit. Like, that'd be cool. Alright, 38 years old. We're streaming for nearly 2 hours. It's almost 5 o'clock here. Maybe I should run for president. I could run for Senate, and then I could get something along the lines of trying to get into immigration. Try to fix the immigration problem without deporting everyone. Yeah, so there's like a 2-term limit for governor. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna step away for just a second. I am back. Sorry, I had to go eat real quick. I believe, is going to be the next election. Okay. All right. Trying to figure out if I should go on. I've been streaming for about 2 hours. I'm gonna go to the... I'm gonna go to the state senate vacancy. Process for filling state vacancies differ by state. For simplicity, the game uses the governor to appoint that placement and then holds a special election. The voter ID law just came into effect, and now everyone's gonna support it. So I can't help but support it anyway. Yeah, we're gonna see a bipartisan support for the voter ID law. 11. Voters are allowed to vote up to 28 days early. Oh, okay, so it's a complete, so it's a couple of changes. So establishes program, voters cannot provide a valid voter ID, they will not be allowed to vote. And then establishes a program, early voting. So new legislation, democracy, absentee or early voting, 28 weeks. How many days prior to the election voters are allowed to vote? 28. Oh, okay, so that's supposed to say days. And then voter IDs or anything. In the next round, I'll send an amendment through and try to change it to allow for exceptions. Unless... No. I'm gonna try to do that now because we have a new election coming up. Mail-in voting, absentee, voter ID, allow exceptions. Voters do not have a photo ID, they're allowed to sign a legal affidavit swearing to their identity, which allows them to cast a provisional ballot. Support. We're gonna run for re-election for governor, and then we're gonna end this stream. Was it reduced? Early voting, 37 days early. Supports. Reconciliation Bill of 2030, Gun Reform Act of 2030. Increases Medicare eligibility age from 70 to 72. What is the U.S. federal deficit? We have a 15%, $15 billion surplus right now. Expenditures really got cut. Oh, that's because of the Medicare, Medicaid. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. $64 to $35, absolute landslide soon. Opponents, politicians, relationships, campaign events. Where are they at? Oh, here it is. Endorse. Endorsed. Available. Governor. Come on. I want to see what kind of landslide this is. Damn, we really actually pushed out into the rural parts of Oregon. Oh my god, dude, really? 54% reporting. I already called the election for me, but it's just a matter of how much. Oh, that is sick. Look at that. I'm behind in Sherman County by 42 votes. 218, 25 in Wheeler County. Best performance for the Republicans right now is going to be in 233, so it's 90%. 600,000 vote lead. 600,000. 25 vote difference in Wheeler County. 42 vote difference in Sherman County. Multnomah County, 219,000 votes. Clackamas County, 55,000. Marion County, 31,000. Absolute landslide. Absolute landslide. State House, what do we do? Gain 2 seats. U.S. House, no difference. U.S. Senate, any Senate election, no. Any flips? Florida just went Democrat. I need to do a Nevada gameplay because I know Nevada as a Republican would be very difficult and it'd be really fun because it would basically just depend on whether it was a benefit, like a wave election year for the Republicans, and I would have to be so strategic with Washoe, Carson City, or mostly Washoe and Clark County. I'd have to be so strategic. I like how the Senate race actually overperformed the governor race. Democrats actually gained a seat in the Nevada delegation. Split delegations now in Minnesota, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Mostly split. Huh. This is the... What is this? Very close election in California. However, this is not anything between a Republican. This is a jungle primary, and the Democrats came out on top. So we had a very close race in California. However, the Democrat did 6.2 million more votes in California, 72% in Los Angeles County, 82% in San Francisco County. Huh. 339 votes in Tarrant County in Texas. 10,000 votes in Denton. 127,000 in Dallas. 9,800 in Collin. But look at that in Tarrant County. 286 in Jefferson County. I'm just going through, just looking at some of these results. This is really what keeps the community alive, honestly, is just the detail in the election results, which at the same time, like, which is kind of what confuses me and also disappoints me about the game, is that there's a lot of people on Twitter that basically got into the community of this game and basically made it an election simulator, and it's the political process. So I would like to see a more detailed look at the legislative process. A lot more laws that we can mess with, a lot more metrics, everything like that. I like the idea behind, like, very much fleshing out the election simulator, but at the same time, like, come on. We have flips in Florida, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. 49.6, 44,000 vote lead, and 49,000 vote lead in Florida. Basically over nearly 50,000 vote lead in Georgia and Florida. Very same margins here. 93,000 in Fulton, Cobb, Douglas County, Clayton County. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and call it here, guys. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything when I make it on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me. I really appreciate you guys as I try to return back to the political process. And guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.